Zeker, die was eerst almost all the time. So go, maar zo hier. Ja, daar, een stukje shiny.
There are index cards coming around for the women. Please fill them in. We'll be very happy to read out the questions.
A house which was outside the ghetto, on the side, the other side was the ghetto. My sister threw back that paper for the guy, saved him through that door.
There was another question. I saw another hand over here.
Sure, go on, give the kent. Oh, shine the vast board, yeah.
Okay, we can.
A new thing. Watch the alphabet.
These questions will be more appropriate afterwards when we can have a nice shmiz together. Very good. Yes, Reb Shlomo.
Your connection to Skelener
He came to Bucharest when I was there. My father was still there. I had asked him Skelener. I can show you a letter where he writes. I don't know if I showed it to you. I found a letter which I wrote to Skelener. I had a schie. I'll tell you so. In Bucharest, he went in Yam Tzuruf. I ever heard of him. The Guinness was worked out after the war was about Mordechai Roller. One of the Gedoyle Yisur, he worked out the whole Hetel Guinness for after the war for everybody. He was one of the Gedoyle Yisur, a close friend of Skelener.
Thank you.
About Mordechai Roller. He went to Yisur. The last Mama, she daughter didn't want to let him go. He lived in Bucharest. He came in Dagide. He lived in Dagide. He came from Romania. In my gezegend mit dem Vorlernen kann at Arad, so I will never forget, he told me, solche Sachen, dass sie drehen, beehrliche Jiden. That was his brother.
It was Mekiam.
Mekiam.
Yeah.
So I was chairman, but the three Amidim from America. A mother Torah was Moishe Feinstein, no question about it, if you like it or not. Again, the mother Torah in America. 3 times I was chairing by his dinner. A mother avoiding in the Satberuf, the biggest Rebbe in college in America. 3 times I was working in Sudan, Yoshev Rosh, by dinner in Satberuf. And Satberuf was sitting there. 3 times. As a matter of fact, he asked to be also Ashkenazi. I said the word, he asked to be a red orton. The Mordechai Friedman. In the Mordechai, it's a Mordechai. That's what the Rebbe said. In Skelener Rebbe, from the first day till today, Baruch Hashem. My co-chairman is here, chairman, Baruch Hashem. Skelener Rebbe, he came to Bucharest often. But he was a unique person. There was nothing like him. I mean, my father told me, because he was still in Bucharest, he said, you cannot imagine 100 years Soimim verschmiert, but a bisschen vielen, they have a father. There wasn't a person like him in the world. He writes in a letter, I found a copy. I asked about the shit of my daughter. He should ask somebody, is menal net so. Schreibt mit dem stolz. Schreibt Avakshach, kivi shvike shoisi, eged mi dida chikroim. A kroim malai, dida chikroim malai, in Messiah liebe klulies über Proteus. And he writes over there a word which is gedei zu wissen. Wegen Ashidach, es ist gedei zu wissen. Schreibt von dem, das zu wissen. Als bei Ashidach, Hagam de Chavetzchaim sucht, mit tun ich suchen kann, if you ask you for Ashidach, you tell the truth, whatever you know. That's really right.
Let me read a couple of questions. Was there a Grosswardein Rebbe?
No, Grosswardein Rebbe was Vision Rebbe. There wasn't a Grosswardein Rebbe.
And this is a question which touches on something you said before, but let's elaborate on it. Were the Hasidim in Grosswardein before the war?
Before this war, for sure. First World War, it was a close, sounds a close, but not spread, not too much. As I said, the mikveh wasn't even open.
Right.
But after the war, when Rebbe came there, became Chassidish oil.
Primarily because of the Vishnitzer Rebbe, the Avos Yisrael.
More in the rest also.
Yes.
But the main thing was
right.
Satmar also opened up Smedish, but there was Satmar Chassidim also after the war.
Right. Question is, was the Bobover Rebbe in the Grosswardeiner ghetto?
Yeah. He was hidden by Lefkowitz.
Lefkowitz. And what amount of time was the ghetto in existence?
A few months only. Not even a few months. From after 4 years till after summer, that's all.
And then it was closed and everyone was shipped off. Okay.
It wasn't so easy. Not everybody wanted. I had a cousin. My father had 2 cousins. Even us, we went with a guy. He's supposed to come back to tell that we went through, and somebody from the 10 people who went with us wanted to save his family, and he stayed there. We were suspicious. All of us went to Arad, and why he stayed there, and he made up with the guy. He should go to pick up his family, and he sent a telegram, made a mistake, and they caught the telegram, and my mother came over there. My mother got muzzled. She got a minute. She's going no matter what. The guy wasn't there. She went with this guy who ran away from police. He took them, and they're looking for the guy's address. And lucky, they found other house, because the other house was police watching, and they did go. And my mother's first cousin, 2 women didn't come, 2 children. My mother took along 3 children. She sent 3 children, and they were saved. And she was the one who went with my mother, and the other one went with my father with Vision Sarab.
There are some questions about personalities whom you may or may not have known. Let's leave those for after discussion. But there's one about a representative of the UN sent from the Aguda by the name of Reb Meir Shenkolevsky.
Yeah, after the war, yeah.
It went after the war to the DP camps.
DP camps, yeah.
As a shliach of Aguda?
Yeah.
What do you remember about him?
I heard did a lot of things. Not only him, he also went. Marcellus went.
Yes.
But not after the war.
Right, after the war. Yes,
Yeah.
please. Just a moment. We're sending you over a microphone. Thank you.
Grosswardein was Hungary or Romania, or did it change hands?
Let me explain. For the war, after First World War, Grosswardein was Romania. For that was big Hungary, Austria. After that was Romania. In 1940, Maximo Hitler gave it away to Hungary. That half of Transylvania, Kloisenberg, Satme, Grosswardein, Krule. In this, the ones who were left on the other side, in another interesting story, at that time, 1940, there was better in Hungary than in Romania. Hungary from Romania left. They came to meet together, they lived with them. But then later, it turned out the Romanian king wanted to please America a little and changed his tune. That was the difference. Then it was Hungary. And after the war, went back to Romania.
So the short answer is that, as with many places, it depended on who had won the last war.
Yeah.
One more question? Just a moment. There's a microphone coming. Thank you. We'll all hear.
Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, after the war.
After Bagland, the Gideon Grosswardein, and Vision Sarab Grosswardein. The other places. I thought in Bucharest, Bucharest is free.
Yes.
Yeah. But we're going a whole year yet. But over there, but first when we came to Shuna was already liberated, because in August already liberated. So we weren't under the Germans anymore.
So that was already regular Yom Tov?
In Bucharest was already, because right in August we were changed it. We arrived in July, and in August we were liberated already. And then they came, the Germans. It's interesting. Bucharest was liberated. The Russians came from Russia, and they didn't go too fast enough. The Hungarians broke in with the Germans from the Arad, from the other side. They were ready to make gas chambers already in Arad, in Temesvar. They almost came to Temesvar. In Baruch Hashem, they came back and they told me, here's some.
So that year, Vishnitz had a big minyan for Rosh Hashanah, and in Tufshin Ayin Beis, Vishnitz Mansi also had a very big minyan, and you were at both. That's a res chia, and
matter of fact, Shabbos by the Oifruf, the Vision Seven was the Monster Rebbe's Oifruf. But Chassidus was like pulling Arab. By Oifruf, jemand Tisch bei Vision Seven, so the was ausgeriefen, am so mit Beitas, bebatem soll nicht kommen zum Vorspiel. Noch Bucheren. Ich verstehe bei Ricky für ihn, der Bechan dreht sich aus zu mir, macht die Diebes noch, als ich kann wohl, die kennst du mir, ich 40 Jahre alt.
I think that's a beautiful note on which to finish, and Mordechai will be around for a private discussion. There are a few more questions that people are asking, and I'm sure he'll be happy to discuss old personalities and old friends. In the meantime, we thank you immensely, Mordechai, for sharing those precious, precious stories with us.
Thank you. Oida Hashem, Baruch Hashem, Chazoich gewinnt. Kinder einwillig bei Hashem. Man eigentlich hat eine Yeshiva gemacht in Lakewood, chassidische Yeshiva. Wer hat sich geholt, da muss es gerne sagen.
Baruch Hashem. Thank you very, very much. A gemach sim b'toivet.